Wow, my staff will not believe this, but I am probably as close to speechless right now as I can be. To be up here tonight with ambassadors and war heroes is humbling, doesn't even come close to describing that. And so I would just like to offer a little bit of thought that I've had about over the past few days about what this award means to me, and what it actually might mean to our country. And John, CNO, I'm sorry. We've known each other for 37 years now, so I'll give you tonight, you have the license that my wife has, that if I start to ramble, you just kind of step right in, okay? Nancy's the only one that gets that ticket, but he can have that tonight. When I was in grade school, I had a teacher who put on the board the word American. And if you look at the word American, and she actually, this is Sister Mildred, who actually not only was my first grade teacher, but she was also my mother's first grade teacher. Sister Mildred underlined the last four letters of the word American. I can. Now, you know, if you're in first grade or second grade, that's pretty cool. When you get to be fifth or sixth grade, that's kind of interesting. When you go on in Florida, we were going through, in middle school, we were actually going through integration. So that was kind of an interesting time for us. But then you have to decide what happens next. And a lot of people kind of wake up in the morning and say, where am I going to go to college when they grow up? For me, the question was, am I going to go to college? And I kept coming back to me. And a funny thing happened when I was a freshman in high school. We had a freshman at the end of that year. We had a senior that year who actually went to the Naval Academy. And I thought, what a great deal. You can go to college for free. And suddenly, the Navy standards for honor, courage, and commitment became aspirational for me. And they became the moral, mental, physical aspect of trying to become someone who could be good enough to join the Navy and be part of the naval service was something that became central to my ambition. Now, you know, I'm like a lot of folks, I didn't actually get a chance to get into the Naval Academy the first time. I went to LSU for a year, but I got in the second time that I tried. And at that point, we became part of the great class of 1982, and I know Michelle's out here, and I appreciate you being here tonight, Michelle. And a funny thing happened, that ICANN had driven me to become part of the greatest class in the history of the U.S. Naval Academy. And then when I became part of the Navy, what I found out was I had it all wrong. Because it's not about I can, it's about we can. When you're on a ship and you're the watch officer and you actually have the engineering watch during a hurricane, and Ambassador, I actually went through that same experience off of the coast of Florida in a submarine that needed to be ballasted down during a hurricane. It's not about what you do, it's about what we can do. It's about what you and your shipmates can do. The petty officer second class who closes the valve for flooding at the moment in time that saves the ship. You know, it suddenly becomes very collaborative. And all of this discussion that the Navy has about honor, courage, and commitment and individual initiative and all of that, what I got out of the Navy was that this is about what we can do. This is about what we can accomplish. And later in my career, as I became and moved forward and became part of the shipbuilding tradition, and I've now been a shipbuilder in one form or another for the last 28 years. What I found is that it is incredibly powerful to be part of something a whole lot bigger than yourself. When we have a ship that goes down one of our ways, or goes to sea trials, or delivers to the ship, or becomes a place that Admiral Harvey is going to spend most of his time on, what we know is that, number one, we don't ever want our sailors to go into a fair fight. We want them to have an incredible advantage. And number two, we know that when they sail into a foreign port and they look at the ships that are in the other port, that the other foreign navies have, we don't want them to ever say, gosh, I wish I was on that ship. And so what I've learned from the Navy is it's about what we can do. And what I've learned from the shipbuilders that I've been associated with from the last 28 years is it's really being part of something bigger than yourself. And so for me, I'm incredibly humbled to be up here tonight. Because as I mentioned to one of the board members earlier this year, I'm not sure I'm really ready for a Lifetime Achievement Award because there's so much more to do. So much more to do. And whether we are trying to solve an asymmetric regional power that thinks that they want to take over and press us in some place, or we want to try to solve the Gordian knot that sits between poverty and education in this country, that's not something that I can do, but that is certainly something that we can do. And that's really, in my life, that's what the American dream has become what is it that we can do? Now, I would tell you that there is no chance, zero chance, that I would be standing here today if it wasn't for the fact that I tricked my future bride into saying yes about 32 years ago. And we are in our 33rd year of our honeymoon. And, okay, so all you Navy guys, I've been saying this for 33 years now, but I'm just going to make sure that the record is clear. She's going home with me, okay? So, but Nancy has taught me so much, and I couldn't begin to describe what that means to me. But I'm going to give you two things to carry away. Number one is what you spend your time on is what you think is important. I want you to think about how you spend your time every week. And what you spend your time on is what you think is important. And if you allocate your time to those things that are important, and you not spend your time on those things that are not important, you will let everybody know what your priorities in life are. And the second thing that she has taught me, and that we try to live, is that our children have the chance to know so much more than we will ever know. And if there's any chance at all that we can contribute to their success in a way that we can help them know more than we do, then we have the opportunity. We have the opportunity to solve those asymmetric regional powers or break that Gordian knot between poverty and education. I'm extremely honored to be here tonight, and I really am honored to be here with this distinguished group. So thank you all very much, and God bless America.